Hi everyone, thanks for joining the Can You Check Out My Mixtape webinar. My name is Shanika Simmons and I am the creator and content manager of BrokeToDope.com. BrokeToDope is a blog site dedicated to featuring independent hip hop and R&B artists. Through the site, I have been able to work with many independent musicians on gaining exposure online and have picked up a few do's and don'ts on the best ways for artists to stand out in the crowd and get their music heard. So let's dive right in. The first mistake artists make when releasing music is not having some form of a marketing plan. How are you going to promote this new project? Who do you want to listen to it? What are your goals? Do you want to gain more performances? Do you want to build on a fan base? Or do you want this content to actually be purchased? Now, a portion of this plan needs to include an online aspect. With everything being done online these days, there's really no way around it. As an artist, your online presence needs to be solidified. This includes your Twitter page, your Facebook page, a website, SoundCloud, or YouTube channel that can easily be integrated among each other. Now, what I mean by this is that your video hosted on YouTube should be able to be shared on Facebook or Twitter and embedded on your website, or vice versa. Now, I'm not saying go out and join every social media site under the sun. That would be counterproductive. Now, I advise to pick 3 channels you are comfortable with and a basic website. Now, your website does not have to be extravagant, but it should be well developed, should have a well developed biography, professional images, and links to the social media outlets of choice. Now, a website can be a one stop shop. Essentially, it can be a place to share your upcoming performances and feature interviews or media placements you may have gained. And it can also host a store, or be a place where you can sell your merchandise and music. Another key aspect of the online presence is engagement. Engagement can be defined by the interaction between people and brands on social networks. Engagement is actually more important than the following. So you can have 10,000 followers, but if they do not engage with you, it is essentially pointless. Engagement can be measured by your likes, your mentions, your retweets, basically what others are saying about the person or the brand. In saying this, content is key. This is your music. This is the articles you may share, or even what you retweet on Twitter. You want to make sure it is something that can generate some form of engagement. You want to ask yourself, is this something your followers will find engaging? Is this something that they may repost or reshare onto their timelines? There needs to be a balance between how often you share your music and how often you share other kinds of content. So there is such a thing as spamming your own content, and it can turn off those who are following you, and they actually may not take the time, to click the link to your music. All right, moving on to building relationship with media. With the rise of technology, it has become a lot easier to be able to reach out to journalists and bloggers or even record executives. But with that comes the rise in competition. It becomes a lot harder to stand out in the crowd. That's where the importance of establishing a relationship with the media comes into play. So here just are a few do's and don'ts. Be personal. When reaching out to the writer, be sure to mention them by name. I mean, they actually may include, this does include you doing some type of research and actually taking the time to visit the site and finding out the type of music they typically share. Find out the type of articles that particular journalist does, and reach out. So if they mostly feature fashion, this may not be the artist or the writer for you. You want to stick to someone whose niche is music, and maybe just specifically independent music. Don't become obnoxious. Once you reach out to the a writer the initial time, it's not a good idea to just keep hitting them up in different ways. If your initial contact is email, then email them that one time, and don't then follow up by hitting them up on Twitter. You want to wait a week or so and follow up. Be professional about it. You have to understand that they do receive thousands of emails on a weekly basis. We have to be humble if they do not post your music. Personally, I do run a music blog and I get hundreds of emails every day, and I'm really one of the only ones actually sorting through the music. And oftentimes I see people who may reach out to me on Twitter, like, hey, I sent you this, da da da, hey, check your email, da da da, hey, or in the DMs, hey, da da da, I sent this music. And then when you don't actually enjoy their music or don't post their music, they have something negative to say. So you want to remain humble. You want to make sure, understand that they are busy, and the writers are making sure they have the music that fits their site. If your music just does not fit, you may want to revamp it. Try something new, try something different, and try to resubmit and see if that gives you better luck. Like I said, don't take this as an opportunity to bash the site because they don't like your particular sounds. It just may not be a good fit. And totally, definitely remember to BCC. Again, going back to, you want to be personal when you reach out in your emails. You also don't want to include every email of the person you may have contacted that day. Now, you don't have to share every song that you have ever recorded. You want to make sure you're just sharing the best and the best quality of your music. So this is where you want to take the time to invest in your sound, take the time to invest in your artwork, and be sure that everything is high quality. Sites are more likely to feature music that is of high quality. It does not look like, you may have done it yourself in Paint and not have, done something more in like Photoshop, or that you may have recorded it in your closet. And we understand everybody's starting out, but you want to make sure that when you're reaching out to these sites, you're giving them the best product, and that is what also represents them when they're posting it on their website. And this is where you need to put that effort into investing into yourself. You can do your own public relations, you can do your own Twitter, you can do your own social media, you can do your own booking, but you really want to invest heavily into the quality of music you make. And once you have been posted, you want to spread the word. Tell everyone, retweet, share it. And you want to retweet this to your friends. Shout out the website, give them a genuine thanks. But don't just stop there. You want to retweet their other features. Continue to go to that website and share their content to your followers or the people on your Facebook or whatever, and continue to support that site because they've obviously supported you. And this is one way to, establish that relationship with the writer. So when you're reaching out to them once again, they remember you. I'm like, hey, he not only retweeted my post of them, but they actually went to my site and retweeted or shared other things that I've written. So I appreciate that. So I'll make sure that when I look at this artist, I'll take a deeper look. So, in conclusion, I want to remember to build an online presence. This is through creating a social media background as well as your own personal website. I advise 3 social media sites. Personally, Twitter is always good, Facebook is great, and you want to make sure you have something, these things are easily accessible to you. Engage with your followers. So mention someone or talk to them, on Twitter, on Facebook, and make sure that you're creating some form of a conversation. And content is key. Content is king. You want to make sure that what you're talking about is what others are interested in. And have that balance between the content that you share and your music, because people are going to be more likely to listen to your music when it's not just spammed all the time on their sites, on their feeds, or on their timelines. And develop that relationship with the media. Do your research. Take a moment to see what type of articles that particular writer writes. Be personal. Call them by name. You want to invest in your music and follow up without being annoying. Also, once posted, spread the word. These all build a lasting relationship with the media and with those particular writers. So definitely want to thank you all for listening to Can You Check Out My Mixtape webinar. And if you do have any further questions, you can contact me at broketodope@gmail.com. Again, my name is Shanika Simmons, and you can definitely find this webinar hosted on carpenika.com. That is CARPENIKA.com. And again, I say thank you. Bye.